Time for round two.
In hindsight, this walk wasn't necessary for my Te Araroa plans. My experience on the Carnarvon Great Walk taught me everything I wanted to learn about my hiking setup, so I found myself flying down to Melbourne without any real purpose. I mean, sure, it's nice to visit a different part of the country and make good use of Melbourne's trams, but from my perspective, there wasn't really anything new to learn from this hike, at least physically. Mentally, that's a different story. I certainly hadn't done myself any favours by only giving myself 2 days rest in Brisbane before leaving again.
So, just to be clear, a week ago, I was still on track. I think it's pretty obvious my feet haven't healed yet, so I'm actually going into this track a little bit injured.
Knowing I wasn't at full strength did nothing to help settle my nerves, nor the fact that the Great Ocean Walk is 15 kilometres further than Carnarvon. Although it's not as hilly, this would still be a big test of my endurance of being able to walk long distances over multiple days.
Morning passengers, welcome aboard your 19 service to South Geelong. This service stops Deer Park, Tarnee, Wyndham, Little River, Lara, Corio, North Geelong, Geelong terminating at South Geelong.
On the flip side, I brought with me all the knowledge I gained from my time in Carnarvon National Park. To help protect my feet, I bought a larger pair of boots and I covered my ankles in hiker's wool. Improving my mental resilience would take a bit more effort, so I promised myself to be more patient and present on trail and to appreciate the journey for what it is. I was told that this trail would be well signposted and easy to follow. However, that doesn't seem to be the case in Apollo Bay. I could not for the life of me find a marker telling me where to go. So I just headed south, and I eventually picked up the trail and followed it out of town. Considering the name of the trail, I was expecting some pretty sweet ocean views along my journey. I was not disappointed, being greeted by the crashing waves of the Southern Ocean almost immediately. Elliott Ridge campsite was my home for the first night, which I would thankfully be sharing with some other hikers. After the loneliness I felt on Carnarvon, it was a real joy to talk with people who share the same love of long-distance walking as I do. It is also home to a large population of koalas. I managed to spot a couple, but didn't get a chance to record them. Perhaps that's for the best, because they may look cute and cuddly, but they sound nothing like it. The theme of day 2 was mud. Lots and lots of mud. The week before I started was very wet, and the four-wheel drive tracks around here don't get much sunlight as it is. The outcome? Mud. It was slow going, and I wasn't keeping the pace that I wanted to. Although my instinct would normally be to go faster and make up time, I knew I needed to be patient. There was no need to rush. I could take my time and actually enjoy my journey.
It's drying out. Hopefully. I really hope it's drying out. It didn't dry out. It definitely didn't dry out.
I stopped at Blanket Bay for lunch, and I was really tempted to just stop my walk there for the day and carry on tomorrow. Part of me wondered if it would have been better to do the full 8-day itinerary, only walking a small section each day. In different circumstances, that might have been doable, but I wanted to test my endurance, hence why I was only taking 5 days to complete the trail. The mud eased up as I climbed up the cliffs on my way to Cape Otway, the ocean never leaving my sight whilst passing through forests of eucalyptus, which hosted some of Australia's incredible wildlife.
Cutie. Lighthouse.
If it wasn't obvious from the roaring waves battering the coastline, the seas around these parts play host to a graveyard containing dozens of ships and hundreds of souls.
Lighthouse.
Light stations like the one at Cape
Oh, very
Otway,
nice.
built in 1848, were constructed to keep these ships far away from the reefs and rocks that litter the waters around this picturesque coast.
Lighthouse. And bird.
From here on out, I knew the walk would get more challenging and that I would likely be spending more time walking each day. But I also knew that I was perfectly capable of completing the trail, and I could trust in that and not let the long days affect me. Having non-stop coastal views also did wonders for my mental fortitude, with the waves crashing into the rocks below me, creating an ironically peaceful soundtrack to listen to. For the most part, today was rather uneventful. The first leg to Eyre River went by in a flash, and the second leg to Johanna Beach passed through low-lying forest on a well-formed track, making for very easy walking. That is, until I hit Johanna Beach itself.
One thing that I'm learning very quickly is that there is no good way to walk on the beach. It just sucks. Oh yeah, I see you. This is right across. Oh, hello, C. C's behind me. Oh, okay, it's all the way up, doesn't it? Okay. Hello, C. No, go away, please. Go away. Ah, dang it.
Being forced to walk in wet boots is rather annoying, but the frustration it caused me died away once I got to camp and realized it was probably the best campsite I've ever been to.
It's not a bad view. Alright, time to say goodbye to this place. It's now 8 o'clock, leaving exactly when I wanted to. Good job, me.
This was the day I had been dreading since I started walking. 27 Ks over some very unkind terrain.
Howdy. Alright then.
The track is basically a roller coaster. It's never flat.
Can I just say that this road section It's a lot nicer than the one I done on day 2. No mud.
On a more positive note, Melanesia Beach marked the final bit of beach walking and final river crossing I'd have to do, which thankfully went a lot better than my last one.
Let's go. Ah. Nah, not this time. No, oh, okay. Almost got me that time. Not today though. Dry boots.
As I got closer to Ryan's den, I could feel myself fatiguing both physically and mentally.
Yeah. What a cutie. Alright, I'll leave you to it. Enjoy your day. Just came out from lunch at Ryan's Den. Next stop, Devil's Kitchen.
Forcing myself to take at least a half-hour break was one of the big changes I made after Carnarvon, and I'm so glad I did. Hiking is hard work, it takes a toll on your body, so if it's telling you to stop, you should stop and let it rest.
Hello, Snake. Can you please move? I would like to get past you. Can you please? Oh, yeah. No, you're flattened out. Hey! Hey, big guy. What you doing? Let's get past Snake. I'm going this way. Sorry. Excuse me. I'm going this way. Hey.
I definitely have handled myself better on this trail, but I know I still need to work on my mental preparation.
Howdy. Nice grass. Looks good. Have a good one.
Getting to come out on these trails is not something that everyone can do, whether due to physical, financial, or some other sort of barrier.
Cool.
I'm in a privileged position to be able to tackle 2 multi-day hikes in the space of 3 weeks, and then go and spend 4.5 months walking the length of one of the most beautiful countries on earth.
Oh my word, am I happy to see this.
Like I said on Carnarvon, this sort of thing is challenging. I have been and will continue to be tested on trail, and I will become a stronger person because of it.
It is Friday, the 15th of September. It is 8:30 a.m. and this is the last day of the Great Ocean Walk. Let's do this.
After 4 days, I now only had one section of the Great Ocean Walk left to do. At 16 kilometers, it is actually the longest section of the trail, but it's only one section. Moreover, with my coach to Warrnambool not leaving until 3 PM, there was no need to rush to the end, although the thought of eating proper food did motivate me to not dawdle. Like I'd been doing so far, I kept a decent pace, but never rushing, taking time to pause and soak in my surroundings. And for snakes. I had to pause for snakes too.
Hello, Mr. Snake. Yeah, that's it. You go away now. Thank you.
Similar to the Cape Otway Lighthouse, the 12 Apostles, of which there are only 5, gave me a physical marker to track my progress as the trek skirted on top of yet more coastal cliffs.
Not far to go now.
Scores of cars and camper vans filled with road trippers passed me by on the Great Ocean Road, their occupants giving me a few weird looks as to why a small man in desperate need of a shower was carrying a large pack on his back out here. But I didn't care, and with the last kilometre on sealed pathway, I used the last ounces of energy I had to push to the end.
Yes.
I got chatting with the 2 hikers I had spent last night's camp with. One of them, James, a student from Canberra, will be taking the journey back to Melbourne with me. We'd been hiking together since Cape Otway, and in just 3 days we had formed a close bond, sharing trail stories and some of the future adventures we'd like to go on.
Please, ladies and gentlemen, just to let everybody know on board, you do have a buffet service tonight. We're located in Carnarvon, that's the second carriage towards the front of the train.
After downing a glorious HSB in Warrnambool, we boarded our train to Melbourne, where my inner train nerd could relax and admire at just how awesome Victoria's regional rail network is. With half a day to spend in Melbourne before my flight left, I did what any self-respecting public transport nerd would do. Trams. That's literally it. I just rode the trams around the city for 3 hours. Why do I like trams so much? Well, I already like trains, and a tram is just a train that runs on the road. Look, it's not a perfect system, and it really needs work on being more accessible for those who aren't able-bodied. But trams will always be cool to me. When I finally left the city and caught the bus back to the airport, there was only one question circling around my head. Was this the best track I had ever done? I'm still not sure, but what I do know is that when I took off, I knew that one day I wanted to come back and do it again. To me, that's the hallmark of a great track. Hopefully one day I can, but for now, it's time to return to the Sunshine State and get ready for Te Araroa. Yeah. Hello. Hey. Yeah. And I don't feel prepared in the slightest.